CM Punk has been pulled from WrestleMania 40. A WWE announcer is returning full-time, and future plans for an NXT call-up. Find out more in a bit. So in the wake of a significant injury, CM Punk opened Raw, his arm in a sling, confirming the rumors that he did indeed suffer a torn triceps during the Royal Rumble match, seemingly, as far as we can tell, off a Future Shock DDT by Drew McIntyre. Punk said that initially he hoped that he could tape his arm up, get through Elimination Chamber, but unfortunately he would indeed need surgery that would take him out of plans for WrestleMania 40.
And you didn't think they'd do it, but they had Drew McIntyre then confront CM Punk and take all the credit for doing the injury. He prayed for the injury to happen, and the injury did indeed happen.
He wasn't the only man he hurt. He knocked Cody's tooth out as well. Allegedly. There was something on the ground.
Chewing gum, was it not?
It could have been chewing gum. If there's one person's smile you don't want to ruin, it's dashing Cody Rhodes.
Oh, he can live with it. He's handsome enough without a tooth. He's fine.
He is. There is no confirmed return date for CM Punk, but we will not see him at WrestleMania. The expected recovery time for an injury like this is 4 to 6 months.
That's a long time away.
It is a long time. I've seen the comments immediately. There are a lot of people sort of poking fun at this, saying he's made of glass and everything. It's worrying, isn't it, that this has happened so many times, so frequently and so recently.
It is. And off such a relatively sort of innocuous move like a Future Shock DDT, we saw the bump, we saw the clip afterwards where he takes the bump like that, immediately goes to the corner and then tells referee, I think it was Jessica on the outside, that he wasn't right. It is, I guess, a bit of a worry, but then again, how much wrestling has he done? Is this to be expected when you're getting a bit older, the ring rust, injuries happening more frequently? I don't know.
And people expect more from CM Punk. Like, if you think about like old timers, older wrestlers coming back, Goldberg, for example, he doesn't have to do as much as CM Punk. CM Punk has never struggled with the character work, the promo work, anything like that. And I think since he's come back, he's been absolutely tremendous on those fronts. But people expect him to, and unfairly expect him to, maybe go at the rate that he was going 10 odd years ago. And that's not what we're going to get from CM Punk anymore. He really did put in a shift in the Royal Rumble as well. Like, he was in there for a while. But even before the injury, he did look a bit gassed, didn't he?
I'm not going to sit here and have a go at CM Punk for being gassed. He can do more running than I ever could.
That's
I do get what you're saying, though.
I'm really not having a go. I'm not having a go. It's just that I think you've got to... Your expectations shouldn't be we're going to get the Punk of 2011.
Yeah,
this is CM Punk in 2024. I found him captivating. I've loved having him back on WWE TV. I think it's been a great little run. I hope this isn't the end of it. There was a really nice tease where he's like looking at the WrestleMania sign and he's like, oh, maybe this will never happen. That just makes us want it more. It will happen. It will happen.
It is a nice story that sort of like presented itself to them. The fact that he has never main evented at WrestleMania. It looked like he was going to be a heel. Now he could just be a babyface saying, oh, that's the dream to go and do that. And it could happen on Saturday night next year. Who knows?
That's the thing. Like, part of me was like, maybe you shouldn't do the like Punk main eventing WrestleMania this year anyway, because you have got a whole story to tell that they can now capitalize on even more.
But that Rollins feud, everyone's gagging for it, aren't they?
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it?
So, you come back, man.
Who will Seth face? Rollins attempting to convince Cody Rhodes last night to challenge him at WrestleMania instead of Roman Reigns, describing his title as more relevant than Roman's Hollywood title.
Didn't they also say that, like, oh, people wanted this title because they were sick of Roman Reigns defending it once every 17,000 months? That made the title look really good, I thought.
It's the blue collar, the workhorse championship. The proposition was met with no chance. A few yes chants, but mainly no chance from the crowd. It would be daft, obviously, to have Cody challenge Seth, so do not expect that to happen. If you're booking it, Drew's the obvious choice, isn't it?
Yeah. We have been there fairly recently, haven't we? Gunther, maybe, if we're not going to have him as the Intercontinental Champion, or maybe do a double shift for Gunther at WrestleMania.
I would love to see Gunther, but the problem is he can't work Elimination Chamber because it's out in Australia. He can't travel at the moment, so it's a bit tougher for him to get there. I mean, you can do it still, but really, you want the, I guess, winner of the Elimination Chamber to go on to face Seth. I'm trying to think, like, you could do Sami Zayn, I guess.
That's the natural one, I guess, with everyone else down. I do feel bad for the Australian fans going to that show because they've now got no Rollins, no Punk, no Roman. I don't think, well, he's not scheduled for the card.
No Seth.
Threadbare.
No Rock. And they've paid a lot of money for that as well. Anyway, moving on, the Raw announce team has been shaken up. Pat McAfee is back full-time, making his entrance on Raw, joining Michael Cole at the commentary desk, and Cole revealed that he and McAfee will be calling Raw together every week going forward. We don't know what this means on the SmackDown side of things. Last week, it was Michael Cole, Corey Graves. Kevin Patrick is now gone. He was released last Thursday.
Correct.
And so the obvious choice here, Wade Barrett.
This is the worrying thing, yeah, because Wade Barrett and Michael Cole were a partnership that was on fire. They would just work together so well, complement each other. They were like Pat and Michael were in the sense that it was just two lads having a good time watching the wrestling, but a bit more subdued because it's Wade and it's not Pat. So hopefully Wade can land on his feet and get maybe the colour role on SmackDown, with perhaps Corey Graves moving over to play-by-play for a stint. I can see why, with the Netflix deal coming up in 2025, they would want someone like Pat McAfee on the sort of announced team roster, so to speak. But yeah, hopefully Wade isn't lost in the shuffle. And also, I'm gutted at him because that's SmackDown, Pat. That's not Raw, Pat.
Oh, yeah.
Hit the jingle one more time, Owen. Light your cigarette lighters.
Do 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 do. SmackDown Pat, SmackDown Pat. What was the line that you just spat?
And you've lost bloody Kevin Dunn as well. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or anything, but it's a bit of a rough thing for you.
WTF Moments is in shambles at the moment. I can't
Pray for Ross. Andrade is Raw, as well as Pat McAfee. Andrade has signed a full-time deal on the Raw brand, seeing him for the first time in about 3 years at the Royal Rumble, and then in a backstage segment, it was confirmed that Andrade is going to be on Monday nights. I'm really, really happy about this because everybody has been fantasy booking for him, and we talked a little bit about this yesterday, to join Santos's Boys or LWO or something like that. This fully keeps him away from all that nonsense.
Absolutely.
He's better than that.
Of course he is. We need a proper bona fide, like NXT-ish run from Andrade on the main roster in WWE. This just brings back memories of, was it early 2020 or maybe early 2019 when it was just Andrade, Humberto, Angel, Rey Mysterio opening Raw with these bangers?
Yeah, they all did amazing stuff over the pandemic as well.
Yeah.
All of those just having really, really good matches. Future NXT call-up plans revealed now. At the end of this segment, after Andrade signed with Raw, a phone call was taken from Nick Aldis from Bron Breakker.
One of the a-holes of NXT. The best tag team in NXT. That's the sad part of it. Obviously, the a-holes getting split up potentially because it does look like Bron Breakker is going to go to SmackDown after a very, very good showing in the Royal Rumble over the weekend there.
But what does this mean for the a-holes?
What does it mean for the a-holes? This is the question we're all asking. The Dusty Cup is now in disarray. Because that's one half of the finalists there.
He'll pull double duty for a bit. He's done the phone call. They get that out of the way. He'll do both.
Hopefully, yeah.
Nick
Aldis ruining the Dusty Cup. It's not right, Adam. It's not right.
It's not on. Bron Breakker on SmackDown. How do you feel about that?
It's meant to be. I think it's just one of those things where is the main event roster on SmackDown a little bit more threadbare than the one on Raw. As I'm sat here now, maybe, and Bron Breakker getting put. I don't want to say like a Brock Lesnar 2002 role, but it makes a lot of sense. There's this new whippersnapper coming up, flattening folk before going on to hold some sort of title, not the world title, because hopefully that'll be Cody, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I find it like, it surprised me actually. I mean, it's not confirmed yet. He took the phone call, but you would expect him to go to SmackDown. I really thought we were just going to get Bron Gunther.
Yeah. Oh.
See, I thought he might be the man to topple Gunther for the IC strap.
Yeah.
That's the WrestleMania match that I thought we would probably get. I think he's a bit tougher to book on SmackDown.
But that is a very good point, Adam. They might be doing a little bidding war bit up until like a couple of weeks' time or something like that, but then they've just got Andrade on Raw.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be Andrade versus Gunther.
I'm up for that.
Yeah.
Are you up for that?
Yeah, of course I am.
I'm not up for him beating Gunther. I'm not up for him beating Gunther.
It should be a man who needs to be like made.
It should be Dragunov. I want a Gable.
It's not going to be Gable.
No, the moment's passed.
Gable.
The moment's passed. Well, they've forgotten about Gable, not even in the Royal Rumble. Anyway, we'll be back with more news. It's been a busy old week in wrestling, obviously. There's lots more to talk about. So stay tuned, a couple of hours, and we'll see you again with more wrestling news. See you in a bit.
Goodbye.